Greetings, everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Anime Octopus. Today's fanfic discussion is centered around an intriguing concept: what if Naruto had the 6 eyes? Disclaimer: the content on this channel is intended solely for entertainment and discussion purposes. I do not claim ownership of any anime footage featured in my videos. All rights and credits belong to their respective creators and copyright holders. Let's dive in. The Hidden Leaf Village, one of the 5 great hidden villages, stands as the most formidable among them. The village is led by the Hokage, a position that has seen 4 leaders in its history. The 4th Hokage met a tragic end during the Kyuubi attack, prompting the 3rd Hokage to resume his duties. Naruto, a 6-year-old boy residing in the Hidden Leaf, has endured a harsh existence, the reasons for which remain unknown to him. The villagers berate and chase him away on sight. He has learned to avoid them to prevent being physically assaulted. Branded as a demon and a fox by the villagers, Naruto is plagued by questions about his true nature. Could he indeed be a demon or an incarnation of evil? One fateful night, Naruto was expelled from the orphanage, the only place he could call home. Even in the orphanage, he was met with hatred. The library within the orphanage provided a sanctuary where he could read in peace, free from the villagers' hostility. Through books, he found solace and knowledge. Now, homeless and adrift, Naruto is uncertain of his next steps. He has successfully evaded the villagers for a year, but without a home, his situation has become dire. Meanwhile, the villagers, noticing his absence, speculated that the demon boy had been dealt with, a prospect they welcomed, believing he deserved such a fate for the 4th Hokage's death. The current Hokage, aware of Naruto's evasion, grew concerned. Although Naruto remained within the orphanage, the 3rd Hokage questioned the wisdom of his decision to place Naruto there. Acknowledging the villagers' animosity, he felt conflicted. "Tenzo, summon the Anbu assigned to Naruto and have them report to me immediately," Hiruzen ordered, receiving a nod from Tenzo before he vanished. Naruto, seeking a place to sleep, wandered into an alley. The Anbu, tasked only with observing and intervening in the event of an external threat, watched with sorrow as Naruto struggled. Tenzo's arrival prompted them to gather in the Hokage's office. Hiruzen awaited their report. Naruto has been expelled from the orphanage. He is currently searching for a place to sleep, an Anbu reported with a heavy heart. Though Hiruzen's expression remained stoic, his fury was palpable, his aura overwhelming. "Those fools!" he muttered angrily before composing himself. "Show me where he is," he commanded. Arriving at the scene, Hiruzen found Naruto lying on the cold, filthy ground amidst trash. Fighting back tears, Hiruzen approached him. "What happened?" he asked gently. Naruto, surprised yet relieved to see the 3rd Hokage, responded, "I was kicked out. And I don't even know why." His voice was frail as he continued, "Why would they do that? I never did anything to them." Hiruzen initially felt a surge of anger but quickly composed himself. "Come, Naruto. I'll take you somewhere you can rest," he said, lifting Naruto and disappearing in a blur. They arrived at Hiruzen's residence. "You can stay here for tonight," Hiruzen informed him. Exhausted, Naruto collapsed onto the bed and immediately fell asleep. Hiruzen returned to the Hokage's office, contemplating the consequences for those at the orphanage who had mistreated Naruto. He decided that dismissing the staff responsible and appointing new management was the best immediate course of action. However, finding a suitable long-term living arrangement for Naruto posed a challenge. Leaving Naruto alone in an apartment was imprudent given his age, and although Naruto could stay at Hiruzen's home, he would still be alone much of the time. Frustrated, Hiruzen decided to discuss the situation with Naruto before making a final decision. Naruto awoke, momentarily disoriented before recalling the previous day's events. Hiruzen entered the room, noticing that Naruto had just woken up, and brought him breakfast. As Naruto ate, Hiruzen attempted to start a conversation. "So, he began, but was interrupted by Naruto's sorrowful expression. "Why does everyone hate me?" Naruto asked, meeting Hiruzen's gaze. They call me a demon, a fox. Whenever they see me, they yell and sometimes chase me away. Hiruzen felt a deep sadness and anger at this revelation. No child should endure such treatment. The villager's behavior was reprehensible. However, Hiruzen was uncertain how to respond. He couldn't reveal the truth about the nine-tailed fox sealed within Naruto. "Listen, Naruto," he said gently, "you shouldn't heed their words. You are a kind-hearted young boy. You aspire to become a shinobi, don't you? I believe you will become a great one, perhaps even the greatest." Naruto's eyes brightened with hope. His dream was to become a shinobi, inspired by the tales of the previous Hokages. His favorite was the fourth Hokage, revered for his strength and bravery. Despite the villagers' hostility, Naruto held a deep love for the Hidden Leaf Village and its rich history, including the foundational principles of the Will of Fire. "Will you train me then, Gigi?" Naruto asked eagerly. Hiruzen Sarutobi, the third Hokage, looked at Naruto with a fond smile. Though he genuinely wanted to train him, his responsibilities as Hokage left him with little time. "I'm sorry, Naruto. My duties as Hokage keep me very busy. However," he trailed off, seeing the hopeful look in Naruto's eyes. "However?" Naruto prompted. "I can arrange for someone else to train you, someone exceptional," Hiruzen said, watching Naruto's eyes light up with excitement. Yet another issue crossed his mind: Naruto's living situation. "Naruto, since you don't have a permanent place to stay, you have two options. You can either stay here with me or have your own apartment." Naruto considered the options. Staying with Hiruzen would mean they wouldn't see each other often due to Hiruzen's busy schedule. Living independently would help him become more self-reliant. "I think it would be better to live on my own, Gigi. This way, I can get used to living independently and not rely on others," he decided. Hiruzen smiled warmly. "Very well. Your apartment is already prepared. I'll take you there." Hiruzen escorted Naruto to his new apartment. Naruto was determined to learn to be self-sufficient. The apartment was new, clean, and fully furnished. It included a kitchen, bedroom, living room, and bathroom, everything Naruto needed. The kitchen was stocked with food, and a beginner's learning book sat on the counter, bringing a smile to Naruto's face. The bedroom contained a bed and a nightstand, while the living room had a couch, coffee table, and bookshelf filled with books. "This is perfect, Gigi," Naruto said, beaming with happiness, barely holding back tears. Hiruzen felt a sense of fulfillment seeing Naruto so content. "I'm glad you like it. I'll provide you with an allowance at the end of every month, but be mindful of your spending. Also, tomorrow at 7 a.m., meet your sensei at Training Ground 7, Hiruzen instructed before leaving. "All right. I'm going to become the strongest ninja there is," Naruto declared, feeling determined. He spent the rest of the day getting accustomed to his new apartment and preparing for his training. At 6 a.m. the next morning, Naruto woke up, excited for his first day of training. He remembered Hiruzen's words about his awesome sensei. After a quick breakfast of instant ramen, he headed to Training Ground 7. He decided to do some quick exercises before his sensei arrived. Precisely at 7 a.m., an Anbu member appeared in a flash. Naruto instinctively sensed his strength. "Good morning. I'm your sensei," the Anbu greeted. Naruto observed him closely. He had a fox-like mask, brown spiky hair, and wore the standard Anbu uniform. "Good morning, sensei," Naruto replied, introducing himself. The Anbu, whose name was Tenzo, began the training with chakra control exercises. He avoided intense physical training to not hinder Naruto's growth. Despite having an enormous amount of chakra for his age, Naruto's chakra control was remarkably good, which impressed Tenzo. Typically, ninjas with large chakra reserves struggle with control, but Naruto was an exception. Tenzo initially instructed Naruto in the fundamental jutsu taught at the academy, the clone technique, substitution jutsu, and transformation jutsu. Mastering these techniques took Naruto some time, but after a week of dedicated practice, he became proficient. Recognizing Naruto's potential, Tenzo decided to teach him the Shadow Clone Jutsu, a more advanced and tangible version of the clone technique. Given Naruto's substantial chakra reserves, Tenzo was confident in Naruto's ability to learn it successfully. 4 years later. At 10 years old, Naruto had significantly advanced in his training and had enrolled in the academy. Despite his typically reserved demeanor, he occasionally displayed a cheerful attitude. He found the academy curriculum redundant, as he already mastered most of the material. However, he enjoyed the taijutsu training, which he had not extensively practiced with Tenzo. Though Naruto found the academy tedious, he appreciated the fair treatment from the teachers, who did not show hostility towards him. His classmates were generally amicable, except for Sasuke and his admirers. Naruto resented Sasuke's effortless popularity with the girls, feeling there was nothing particularly impressive about him. Despite having admirers of his own, Naruto remained oblivious to their attention. Naruto had distinctive white hair and sky blue eyes. His usual attire consisted of a black tracksuit adorned with the Uzumaki symbol on the back. In class, Naruto was typically reserved, rarely speaking unless in the company of Shikamaru and Choji. His teachers appreciated his demeanor and academic performance, noting his ability to achieve good grades without causing disruptions. Naruto deliberately withheld his full capabilities, intending to reveal his true potential later. He exerted just enough effort to maintain average scores. Training under an Anbu operative had its advantages. Over the years, Naruto's progress had been commendable, and today was the day he would discover his chakra affinity, a prospect that excited him greatly. During his 4 years of training, he had also learned the body flicker technique, though he had yet to master it. Arriving at his usual training ground, Naruto always ensured he was early to complete a regimen of exercises before his sensei arrived. 30 minutes of preparation before Tenzo's arrival proved beneficial for him. When Tenzo arrived, he carried a chakra induction paper, a unique item crafted from a special type of tree. Recognizing it instantly, Naruto's excitement grew. They exchanged greetings, and Tenzo handed the paper to Naruto, explaining its purpose. "Naruto, this paper will reveal your chakra affinity. If it ignites and turns to ash, your affinity is fire. If it is cleanly cut in two, it is wind. If it wrinkles, it is lightning. If it turns to dirt and crumbles, it is earth. If it becomes wet, it is water." Naruto nodded, already familiar with this process. As Naruto channeled his chakra into the paper, it was cleanly split in two, one part crumbled, and the other wrinkled. Tenzo was astonished, having 3 chakra affinities was rare, even among jounin, making him immensely proud of his student. Tenzo smiled and said, "Well done, Naruto. Since you've discovered your chakra nature today, you have the rest of the day off. The coming years will be challenging." With that, Tenzo vanished in a swirl of leaves. Feeling proud, Naruto decided to treat himself to ramen, a favorite he had not enjoyed in some time. "Yo, Tucci. A miso chachu pork ramen, please," he called as he entered the shop. Tucci, the shop owner, turned and recognized Naruto immediately. "Hey, Naruto," he said, surprised. "It's been a while. How have you been?" With a proud smile, Naruto replied, "I've been training." "Ah, I see. Here's a bowl of ramen on the house," Tucci said, equally proud. "Thank you." Naruto responded cheerfully. Back home, Naruto felt a sense of boredom. Besides training, his only other activities involved spending time with friends, who were also busy training. With nothing else to do, he decided to train further. Having only done minimal physical training so far, he aimed to intensify his regimen to enhance his speed and power. Naruto had a training plan in mind, inspired by hints from Tenzo. He had uncovered the secret of shadow clones. With his vast chakra reserves, he was confident he could exploit this technique fully, allowing him to train in multiple areas simultaneously. He mentally noted this strategy, determined to use every advantage to grow stronger. Naruto just came home exhausted from his training. That was the first serious physical training he had done and it was pretty draining. But all that tiredness seemed to have washed away when he remembered that tomorrow he's finally going to learn battle jutsus. Until now he had mostly worked on his chakra control and the 4 basic jutsus. His chakra control was really good. Way better than one would think for someone with such high chakra levels. He had also learned the Shadow Clone Jutsu, Transformation Jutsu, and the Substitution Jutsu and perfected them. But he was having trouble with the Body Flicker Jutsu. Although D rank, it still was a bit more complicated than the previous jutsus. But he was hoping he would perfect it in the next 2 years. Naruto was resting as he made his clones prepare dinner. Even the clones were as lazy as the original, but they had to do what they had to do. They had prepared a nice hot and healthy meal for him to eat. As quickly as Naruto ate, he jumped on his bed and immediately slept. As always, he wakes up at 6 a.m. and does his morning routine. He brushes his teeth and washes his face. Puts on new and clean clothes and then eats breakfast. At 6:30 a.m. he left the house and went to the training ground. Always the same routine. First, it was boring, but after a while, he got used to it. At 7 a.m. sharp his sensei arrives ready to train the young boy. "Good morning, Naruto. Hope you're ready for today's training," said Tenzo. "Good morning, sensei." "Yes, of course I'm ready," replied a way too excited Naruto. As soon as Tenzo was about to start his training, Naruto interrupts. "Sensei, I have an idea I would like to use for my training." "Oh?" replied Tenzo, already guessing what it might be. "I'd like to use my shadow clones to train. I could have large groups of clones learning multiple jutsus while I train on taijutsu. What do you think, sensei?" asked Naruto. Tenzo smiles. "Good that you figured it out. For the past few years, we barely focused on your taijutsu training. Having 2 years just focused on it seems like a good idea," but then Tenzo stopped thinking. While yes, when dispelling a shadow clone returned its memories to the original, no one ever used it to train, so who knows how useful it will be. Tenzo then asks Naruto, "Have you already tried, seeing how good it works?" "Yes, I have. I used them to learn a few things while I was training. For example, cooking. I'm still not the best at it, but I'm decent." Naruto pauses a bit and then continues. "But shadow clones have a bit of a harder time learning something new that I previously didn't." Tenzo was thinking if it's really a good idea to let the shadow clones train. But Naruto wouldn't suggest it if it wasn't, so he asks him. "So? Why would you suggest it then?" "Well, while they aren't as good at mastering a jutsu as I would be, they still help a lot at multitasking. So while I, the original, focus on taijutsu for the next 2 years, the clones will probably master the jutsus in the next 2 years as well," answered Naruto. Tenzo then smiles at this. "Very good, Naruto." Tenzo then forms hand seals as another Tenzo comes out of him. It was the shadow clone, but not like the one Naruto has. It was a wood-style clone. Just at first sight, it seemed more durable than a normal one. "Alright then, I will aid you in your taijutsu training while my clone would help your clones in the ninjutsu training," said Tenzo. Naruto then nods and creates 60 clones. Evenly divide the 60 clones into 3 groups. Each group having 20 clones. Each group also dividing into 2 groups of 10. 6 groups of clones, each learning another jutsu. This was also a bit harder for Tenzo's clone, but he managed. He only showed the clones the basics and they would work alone after. Tenzo was planning on adding chakra weights on his body and then spar with him for a few hours. They started small. First adding 5 kilograms. His whole body was heavier and it was hard to move. But he got used to it. Tenzo ordered him to keep them on for the next 2 years. Adding weight every few days or a week. The first day of sparring wasn't all that bad. 5 kilograms wasn't that bad since he got used to it. But the next it was worse. 2.5 kilograms didn't really seem much, but adding the 2.5 kilograms to the 5 kilograms was pretty draining. Thankfully the exercises he did since a few years ago seemed to pay off. Naruto and Tenzo would spar for hours. Tenzo didn't even phase that much while Naruto was exhausted. He still gave it his all and kept trying. After a few more hours his body started to ache. His muscles were sore and his limbs seemed heavier. He was panting. "Look like we went overboard a little, Naruto." "Take a break," said Tenzo. Naruto, without saying a word, goes near a tree, drinks a bit of water, and lays down to rest. The wind was calm, somewhat warm. The birds chirping, the tree leaves rustling. Everything seemed so calm that he had fallen asleep. An hour passes. Naruto was still sleeping but was woken up by Tenzo. He didn't want to ruin his sleep, but he could catch a cold if he stayed longer. He taps on Naruto's shoulder and says, "Naruto. Naruto, wake up." Naruto slowly opens his eyes. Looks around as he comes to his senses. "For how long was I asleep?" he asked. "For an hour," Tenzo replied. "An hour? Do you know how much I could have training during that 1 hour?" Naruto hurriedly stands up yelling. "Naruto, calm down. You couldn't have trained anyway since your body is in th." Tenzo was shocked seeing as he's in a really good shape. "The Kyuubi? I knew he had good regeneration abilities, but this is quite something," Tenzo thought. "What?" Naruto asked. "Nothing. Come on now, stop slacking off, let's get to training," said Tenzo, laughing seeing Naruto's irritated face. After a few minutes of sparring. So an hour of sleep really healed him from the soreness? The fatigue? This will probably help him improve his body faster, Tenzo thought. Every day Tenzo and Naruto sparred, Naruto's fighting style improved. He became more skilled overall. He could do logical thinking, predict his opponent's movements and act upon that, and he was doing a really good job on that. His speed was also the most impressive. Such an impressive speed at such a young age. He will surely become a great ninja. At the end of the week, he increased the chakra weights on his body to 10. Every day increasing them little by little. At the end of the week he got to 10. Moving alone was pretty hard and he had to keep them on every time. After the first week, he kept the weights at the same level until the end of the week. That was when he'd either increase it by a half, 1, 1.5, or 2 kilograms. His healing abilities made things a lot easier. Even after being completely exhausted, the next day would mostly be the same as the last day, depending on how much strain he put on his body. Sometimes he would go overboard and wouldn't be able to train for a day. There also was a problem to which he found a simple solution. Shopping. Naruto going shopping was near impossible. The villagers yelling at him. If he even stared at an item in a store, he would be pushed out of the store by the owner. The simple solution to this was the transformation jutsu. Transform to an ordinary civilian so when he went shopping he wouldn't catch any attention. He had already asked his Gigi if he was allowed to do that, and he had allowed him to as long as he didn't do anything out of the ordinary and cause problems. During the years of training, he had found out about his sensing abilities. He had it since he was younger, but it was an unconscious ability so he never noticed. Looking back, the first time he met his sensei, he noticed that he was really strong. He still can't control it to activate it at will. He has tried to, many times but never succeeded. Naruto also decided to take a look at sealing jutsus. His favorite Hokage, the fourth Hokage, was a sealing master. So he decided to take a look into it. It was really complicated and noticed that it could be pretty versatile. But he thought that although it would be cool to master it, it didn't really fit his style. He was kinda upset but got over it later. Not all the fourth Hokage could do, he'll be able to do. Plus he's already decided to become even more awesome than all the previous Hokage. But before that, he had to become a full-fledged shinobi. Someone who carries his duties. Even Naruto knew that before he could become and succeed as a Hokage, he had to succeed as a shinobi. Naruto shakes his head and heads home. A few weeks passed since the real training started. At the end of the day, he dispelled the shadow clones and learned what they learned. The ninjutsu training was going pretty well. Better than he expected, really. He also noticed something during his elemental training. Although his main three affinities were wind, earth, and lightning, wind was still superior to the other two. His wind chakra was stronger than the earth and lightning one, although not by a lot. If it goes on like this, I'll most definitely master these jutsus at the end of the second year. Naruto thought. He was pretty excited. He was getting better day by day. Even his day offs were pretty straining. He was told to lower the weights by half and he did so, but it was pretty tiring to move with weights. This is his life now though, so he had to get used to it. After weeks of training, he had an idea about the lightning release. He wasn't really sure it could work, but even Tenzo said that there is a slight chance it might. So now he makes 40 clones for wind and earth and 30 for lightning alone and 1 jutsu also. The jutsu he was working on was a branch technique of an already existing one. It works very similarly, the same as the ones he read about, but since it was a branch technique, it was weaker. Weaker but still really useful is what Naruto thought. A few months pass. Naruto's taijutsu and body shape is way better than it was when he began. The progress he made was really good and he was really happy and proud of it. Wind release was what he made the most progress on. It was easier to learn and master than the other 2 affinities. Earth wasn't that bad either. Lightning was what he had the most trouble on. Whenever he hit a dead end, he couldn't ask anyone for a piece of advice, since anyone he and his sensei knows that is in the village can't or doesn't know the jutsu. While the previous 2 he could, since his sensei was a great earth user himself and he was close with someone who used wind release as well, so he could point his mistakes here and there. He was also really happy that he decided to focus more on the lightning jutsu since it was the hardest to master. His taijutsu had also progressed really far. He could now better predict his opponent's movements and could react to them faster due to how his body had progressed. It's been 2 months since he started training. He only had 1 day a week off, but today happened something he didn't really expect. Naruto and Tenzo finished sparring. "Alright, Naruto. Good job on reacting to my attacks this well again," said Tenzo, smiling. He was also proud of the progress Naruto was making. "Thank you, Sensei. We'll continue again after a small break?" asked Naruto, panting. An unexpected answer came out of Tenzo's mouth. "No, Naruto. You should take a longer break this time. I was thinking of a 1-week break." As soon as Naruto heard those words, a shocked expression appeared on his face. Sure, he took 1-day breaks every 1 or 2 weeks. But a whole week? "But why?" Naruto asked. "When is the last time you met your friends outside of school?" Tenzo replied with another question. Naruto then realized. He hadn't met his friends in a long time. He did talk with them while in school, but they rarely went out since he started training. Naruto didn't answer. "You're too focused on training." "Yes, it's important, but don't forget your friends. We'll meet again in 5 days and continue training. Have fun, Naruto," Tenzo said, and with that he disappears. Aw, man. Well, I do see his point. Haven't played with them for a while too. Naruto says, so he goes to meet up with his friends. First, he went to Kiba and see if he was busy. But he was also training, so he, unfortunately, couldn't come. Kiba is an obnoxious guy but a good friend. He's one of the people who didn't hate him. Naruto also admired him for how hard he trains to become stronger. Naruto was thinking of also meeting up with Shino. Shino was also a quiet guy and they barely talked to one another. He's a pretty cool guy, but Naruto couldn't really figure out what he was thinking as he does with others. Sometimes he got the feeling like Shino doesn't really like Naruto or that he bothers him, but he really didn't know. Naruto couldn't find him anyways. Well, that's what I get for trying to meet in such a short time, Naruto thought. Naruto was walking towards Choji's house. Choji was a wholesome guy. He would sometimes offer Naruto chips, which he appreciated. While walking, he saw Choji and his father going to a barbecue. Naruto knew what was going to happen in the restaurant, so he best not bother them in their lunchtime. Guess that leaves Shikamaru. Naruto thought. Choji and Shikamaru are his first friends. Through them, he also met other awesome people. Although not a large friend group, he still appreciated them and was happy that they also didn't judge him. Shikamaru was different. He was a lazy person who said troublesome quite often. He was a nice guy nonetheless. As Naruto neared his house, he saw him and his father playing shogi. He got kinda upset. Everyone was busy. But he couldn't blame them since he wanted to meet them in such a short time. As he turned around to go home, Shikamaru had noticed him. "Hey, Naruto," Shikamaru said in a somewhat loud voice, calling him. Naruto turned around again, seeing that he was noticed. He walks towards them and says, "Yo, Shikamaru. I have some time off, so I thought we could hang out," Naruto said with a somewhat low voice. "Well, I'm playing shogi right now. Want to join in?" Shikamaru asked. "I don't know. I never played it before," Naruto replied back. As they were having a conversion, Shikaku was observing. He did meet Naruto a few times before. He knew he was training with an Anbu, so he had to be strong too. His black tracksuit with blue eyes and white hair gave different vibes each time. Sometimes he was giving off like a slacking off and uninterested vibe, but then also a strong and confident vibe. It was quite strange. He saw that the relationship between his son and Naruto seemed well, so he stands up and heads towards the door to go inside. "Well, you guys have fun," he said, and leaves. "So, you never played shogi before, right? Want me to teach you?" asked Shikamaru, though he didn't really want to teach someone since he was lazy. "I don't know, seems like a confusing game. How about we go out for a walk and maybe play something?" "It's been a while," Naruto replied back. Shikamaru smiled, as although going out was troublesome, teaching him a new game from scratch was even more so he thanks Naruto in his mind for not agreeing on learning the game. "Fine, let's go," he replied. "In about 2 years we are finally going to be real shinobi. I'm really excited," said Naruto. "Yay! You have been training a lot, huh?" replied Shikamaru. "Of course. I'm going to be the strongest shinobi," Naruto said with a giggle. "Troublesome. Seriously, where do you get all that motivation from?" Shikamaru asked in a sarcastic voice. Hee, you should try harder, to be honest. I'm sure you could get even stronger," Naruto replied back. "I'm trying hard enough," Shikamaru said. As they were walking towards the park and see a lonely Uchiha sitting by himself. Naruto tried to talk to him a few times before, but he would ignore him. Naruto also felt bad about what happened to him. He felt somewhat of a connection between them, but he would also get pissed off by him because of his attitude. Naruto and Sasuke made eye contact, but then Sasuke just turned his head, saying "piss off." Naruto got really annoyed by that, and he himself didn't know why. Normally he wouldn't get easily annoyed. So he just ignores Sasuke and walks with Shikamaru to the park. Shikamaru just looks either down or up, avoiding any eye contact with anyone. "What do you think of him, Shikamaru?" Naruto asked. "I don't know. It's sad what happened to him, so I guess his attitude is excused. I would probably ignore him though," Shikamaru replied back. "Yeah, you probably would," Naruto said with a laugh. Naruto knew really well how it is being alone. He wanted to help Sasuke, but he just ignored Naruto. In the academy, Naruto was usually quiet. Didn't talk when unnecessary. He usually sat next to Shikamaru, Choji, Kiba, or sometimes even Shino. He would however try to sit next to Sasuke and get him to talk. But sometimes that would also be impossible due to the annoying fangirls. Sasuke was at the top of the class while Naruto only tried hard enough to get average grades, since he really didn't want the attention Sasuke was getting. Shikamaru however noticed a few fangirls of Naruto, but he always wondered how Naruto could be so oblivious to never notice them. A few hours pass and it was getting kinda late. Shikamaru had to run off home or else his mother would scold him. So Naruto had to walk home alone. He saw the Uchiha again staring at a river. Naruto wondered what he was thinking since he barely talked. He walked up to him and greeted him. Getting no reply. "What are you doing here?" Naruto asked again, getting no response. He was starting to get kinda mad. "I asked you something," Naruto said, but this time he actually said something back. "What do you want?" Sasuke asked. "Nothing. Just wanted to see how you're doing. You know, Talking is always better than staying silent, Naruto answered in a lower voice. Sasuke looked at him and then looked down. Don't want to talk? Just go away. Sasuke said in a higher voice, trying to intimidate Naruto. Why not? I know how it feels to be alone. And talking with friends always made it better. Naruto said. You don't know anything, Sasuke replied back. Huh? I don't know anything? Seriously, get a grip. Staying alone will bring you nothing. I mean it. But yeah, I guess don't know anything. Naruto shakes his head and starts walking off. Seriously, why did I even try? I'll just go home and eat dinner for now. Naruto thought. Sasuke was thinking about what Naruto said but quickly shook it off. No one understands how I feel. I will get stronger alone and get revenge. Revenge? All Sasuke could think of. Killing his brother, the one who killed his own clan. Naruto then arrives home and prepares dinner. He made 2 shadow clones prepare dinner for him while he went to his room and laid down. He didn't want to let Sasuke suffer alone. But he couldn't bring him to talk to him. So he didn't know what to do now. When Naruto was alone, all he wanted was someone to talk to with. So maybe he really doesn't know anything. It's been 6 years since he started training with his sensei. He learned a lot from him. How to be a shinobi and everything he needed to know. And today was his last that he's going to train with his sensei. Finally, tomorrow he's graduating and he's going to become a real shinobi. The academy was pretty easy for Naruto. The stuff they taught there, he already knew. They only taught him the low-level jutsus that he also already knew. Taijutsu was also pretty easy after a few months of training only on taijutsu. Even though boring, he still loved the academy. He had friends there and the teachers were nice too. 2 years of only taijutsu training had done him good. He did use shadow clones to master the 3 elemental jutsus. He mastered 2 of the earth release jutsus and 2 of wind release ones. Lightning release was a bit tricky. He did train long enough to make it useful in battle, but he still didn't master it completely. It was a copy of the original jutsu after all. Tenzo and Naruto were getting ready for their final spar. Naruto, take off your chakra weights. You need to get used to your body without them, Tenzo said. Naruto was surprised by this. He was told to never take them off. Even if he wasn't training. He even forgot how his body felt without the weights. But he realized why he told him to take them off, so he did just that. Naruto then, as soon as he takes off his weights, immediately notices the difference. He felt so much lighter. He jumped higher. He was faster. He felt as though he was the fastest. He got a bit too cocky, forgetting how strong his sensei is. Very well. Start. Tenzo declares. Naruto immediately rushed at him. Taking his weights off seemed to have made him cockier. But then he saw the difference between himself and his sensei. He threw punches left and right, but none seemed to hit him. His sensei dodged every one of his punches seemingly easily. The moment Naruto noticed that, he jumped back. Hey, I guess it won't be that easy. Naruto then starts thinking about what to do while he dodges Tenzo. He was trying to come up with a strategy but couldn't focus too much because of Tenzo rushing him. Thinking won't do much then, huh? Naruto thought as he then fully focused on the fight. He realized he couldn't strategize unconsciously, and trying to come up with a strategy to fight his sensei right now would only slow him down. Naruto throws in kicks, punches, everything he had available, but they all either got dodged or blocked. He realized just how much he had to train to overcome this level. He knew how weak he is and how much more he has to train to get stronger. To become the strongest. Naruto then rushes at Tenzo even harder, trying to land in a punch. A kick? Anything. But everything seemed futile. This frustrated Naruto more than he thought. He got even more aggressive. His style was still really good for an academy student. It barely had any openings Tenzo could exploit even after he got so aggressive. It seemed immature of Naruto to get so frustrated, and that doing so in battle could prove fatal, but this was different. Even though more aggressive, it still didn't leave any openings. It seemed reckless and dumb to an opponent, which confused them. Tenzo thought he saw an opening. You've got ways to go, Naruto. Leaving an opening like this, as soon as Tenzo was about to exploit that opening, he realized he got tricked by an academy student. Naruto quickly dodged Tenzo and was about to land a kick. Tenzo smiled, proud of his student. To think Naruto, an academy student, would trick him. He just laughed a little and then quickly grabbed his leg and pushed him to the ground. Naruto then stood up exhausted. As soon as he stood up, he fell again. The spar had gone on for a few hours and it drained him. Tenzo then laughed a bit more loudly. Good job, Naruto. Yet again you impress me. Really? Naruto asked excitedly. Yes. Well done. For that, I will treat you to ramen, Tenzo replied. Let's go. Naruto shouted. For the past few years, Tenzo hadn't gone on any missions as an Anbu and hadn't done any Anbu work. He was only focused on training Naruto as ordered by the third Hokage. Since Naruto is finally going to become a Genin, he thought that he won't need his sensei anymore. He'll be busy on missions and also have another sensei. He was worried about Naruto. He was also sad that he won't get to see Naruto as often. They grew closer and have a really good teacher-student relationship. But he knew that he has nothing to worry about. With Naruto finally becoming a Genin, he plans on continuing his Anbu work. After finishing their meal, they went on top of the Hokage rock. Naruto knew that this is the last time he's seeing his sensei in a long time. He knows his sensei will continue his Anbu work, so he will be really busy. It upset him, but there wasn't really anything he could do at the moment. So I guess this is a goodbye? Naruto said in a low voice. For now, Naruto. I trust you to become an awesome shinobi. I know you can do it. And don't worry, whenever I have time, I will come and meet you, Tenzo replied. Tenzo then smiled and then said in a sarcastic voice. Alright then, Naruto, better get ready for tomorrow. It is a big day, after all, you better not fail. Tenzo knew without a doubt he would pass the academy test. Naruto then chuckled. Hi. I will become strong too. Stronger than you, Naruto declared. Tenzo then laughed. Yes, I know you will. They then nodded at each other and both leave. Naruto heads home. It had gotten dark, so he wanted to get a good night's sleep for tomorrow. Tomorrow he's finally going to become a real ninja. Naruto woke up earlier this time. He quickly ate breakfast and went out. He went out for a run. He ran at full speed around the village to see how fast he could go. Since he's finally not using the weights, he wanted to test how much faster he got. And it was by a lot. But he still had ways to go. He knew that because of the spar with his sensei. He knew he still had to train, a lot more and way harder than he did before if he wanted to become the strongest. After taking a small break, he went to the academy. It was earlier than usual, so not everyone was in class. Since his friends weren't there either, he sat alone. As per usual, the fangirls were fangirling over Sasuke. He still thought about what Sasuke said. About him not understanding anything. Naruto thought he understood how Sasuke felt, but that wasn't the case. A few minutes passed and his friends all came. Naruto sat next to Shikamaru and Choji. Kiba and Shino also sat together behind them. It was pretty loud until Iruka came in. The students were nervous about the exams. Some were also not worried about it, confident that they would easily pass. As soon as Iruka came in, the class was silent. Iruka greeted the students and they greeted him back. Iruka has them prepare for the first exam. The written exam. Mizuki, Iruka's assistant, handed out the papers. Naruto had always gone for the average score. But since it was the last day, he wanted to get the perfect score. Yesterday Iruka reviewed the transformation jutsu, in which Naruto also got a perfect score. He answered all the questions asked on the paper. After the time was up, Mizuki picked the papers up. Some were upset, some were not. The test was hard for a few but easy for others. For your final exam, you must each generate a clone, Iruka said, and then continues after a moment of silence. Wait here until your name is called. and then come next door. After a few got their name called, it was finally Naruto's turn. His friends wished him luck, to which Naruto thanked them. He goes next door. Iruka and Mizuki were sitting in front of a table full of leaf headbands. Naruto was excited. Iruka told Naruto to show his shadow clone. But what happened after wasn't what he expected. Since Naruto was an overall average student, he expected one shadow clone, but what actually happened was surprising. First, Naruto didn't even use hand signs, and second, there were multiple and solid clones. Iruka immediately passed him. As the exams were over, Iruka congratulated everyone. Everyone in his class had passed. After the students congratulated each other and celebrated, they all went home. Naruto was about to walk home, but he thought he'd stay outside for a bit. Home alone was boring after all. He lied down on the Hokage's rock looking at the dark sky. The sky was clear, with no clouds. You could clearly see the beautiful stars. Naruto loved to just stay and look at the sky. But for a moment he was interrupted. He saw someone jump right above his head going into the forest. He didn't see who it was, but he did notice he was in quite a hurry. Naruto decided to follow him and see what's up. It didn't take a lot for Naruto to catch up to him, but when he did, he saw someone familiar. Mizuki. Mizuki was actually quite nice to Naruto, so he thought that Mizuki was actually a kind person. Mizuki, what's going on? Naruto asked. Naruto also noticed the scroll in his hand and thought of a theory about what's actually happening. The theory was that Mizuki stole the scroll and is now on the run. But he still didn't want to believe that, as he genuinely believed Mizuki was a kind person. Mizuki decided to stop. "Ah, so it's you, Naruto." "The devil himself," Mizuki said. Naruto hated that word. He always wondered why he was always called a devil. But hearing those words towards him, Naruto knew he wasn't a kind person, at least no one who uses those words towards a child is. "What are you doing, Mizuki?" Naruto asked again. Mizuki then started laughing. "Don't you see, Naruto? I'm stealing this scroll, and in exchange, I will be granted power." Naruto then knew for sure what that scroll is and realized what's happening. "Aren't you a leaf ninja?" "No, if you're willing to betray your village, then you aren't a ninja. You're just a failure," Naruto said, preparing to fight Mizuki. "Oh? The devil is getting ready to fight?" Mizuki then started laughing, but then continues. "Naruto, do you know why everyone calls you a devil? Why everyone hates you?" Mizuki asks. Naruto then stopped for a moment but then told him to continue. "Because you, Naruto, you're the devil fox who attacked the village 12 years ago." Mizuki then started laughing again. Naruto was shocked. He always wondered why everyone called him a devil. He even came up with theories as to why. He did come up with the theory that the fox was inside him, but he didn't want to believe it. This theory seemed the most believable, but he just didn't want to accept it's true. After a few moments of Mizuki laughing and Naruto getting his head straight, Mizuki decided to attack Naruto. Naruto's thoughts were all over the place, but then he tossed them all aside. He was already kinda prepared for it, although he didn't want to believe it. Although he didn't have any proof, the idea was still there. Mizuki was rushing Naruto, but Naruto easily dodged him. That speed was nothing compared to his sensei's. Both of them on the ground staring at each other until suddenly another Naruto came out of the ground about to catch Mizuki. Mizuki was really shocked at this, but his instincts allowed him to move away. He really didn't expect Naruto to know any jutsus, he was the most average after all. "Hey, I guess it won't be that easy," Naruto said. You devil? Why don't you care? You're the demon fox, the one who killed countless people," Mizuki yelled. Naruto said nothing. He was thinking nothing other than bringing the scroll back and defeating Mizuki. He didn't let it bother him what Mizuki was saying. Mizuki got pissed at this and carelessly started attacking Naruto. Naruto dodged and countered his punches. Mizuki managed to get a few punches in and started rushing more aggressively. Naruto then used it to his advantage and disappeared in a poof of smoke. Mizuki got even more furious and turned around to see Naruto preparing a jutsu. With one hand sign, Naruto takes a deep breath, compresses that breath, and releases it in a large crushing sphere of wind chakra. Mizuki barely dodged it, but it got his leg. He managed to hide but when Naruto was about to pursue him, but he stopped when he was attacked from below. It looked like a combination of an earth jutsu and soft physique modification. But then suddenly Naruto was put into a genjutsu. Naruto fell under his trap. As soon as he released the genjutsu, he was being attacked by a puppet holding a sword. He was already about to get hit and he couldn't dodge it. Shit, I have to use this then. Although not perfect, it will help me get out of this, Naruto thought. No hand signs necessary. In one moment Naruto was surrounded by dark red lightning, to which enhanced his speed and reflexes greatly. He got the idea of this jutsu when he read the encounter of the fourth Hokage and the Raikage. He read that he used something like this, so Naruto created something similar. It was far off from the original, but he knew he could train to improve on it. As soon as he activated the lightning jutsu, he dodged the puppet and was about to find Mizuki. He could finally use sensing abilities, although they were only for a few meters. Naruto found Mizuki again and was about to attack him again. Mizuki was furious. Naruto countered everything Mizuki had. All his plans were ruined because of Naruto. He was so infuriated that he blindly attacked Naruto. Naruto then encased his arm in rock, and taking advantage of Mizuki's recklessness, Naruto did a direct hit which put Mizuki down. This took longer than it should have, Naruto said tiredly. Naruto then notices the scroll near the unconscious Mizuki. Let's see why Mizuki risked his life for, Naruto thought, and opens the scroll. The first jutsu in that scroll was the one he already knew. Boring, Naruto said. After looking at a few more jutsus, he noticed something. The one jutsu that his idol is famous for. His eyes lit up, but he then senses someone coming. He quickly copies what is said on the scroll about that jutsu and drops it. The one who arrived was Iruka. Naruto? What are you doing here? Iruka asked in a confused face. I saw Mizuki running with the scroll, so I followed him and defeated him, Naruto said in a cheery voice. His clothes were in a worse shape than he was though. Iruka then takes a second to let that information sink in and then asks. You defeated Mizuki? Wait, you didn't look in the scroll, did you? It was hard, but yay, I did. Naruto then laughs, ignoring the second question Iruka asked. Credit was given to Naruto for returning the scroll safely. After Iruka and Naruto gave their report to the third Hokage, he thanked them and told them they can leave. Iruka was about to leave but noticed Naruto staying. Naruto, come, I'll treat you to some ramen too, Iruka said. Go on without me. I want to talk with Gigi a bit, Naruto said with a low voice. Iruka noticed that there was something different about Naruto, so he decided to leave them. Hiruzen already knew what he wanted to talk about. He saw everything on the crystal ball. But he didn't know what to tell him. He can't lie to him anymore. Gigi, am I really a devil? Is the nine-tailed fox actually sealed inside me? Naruto asked in a saddened voice. No, of course not. You're just the same Naruto. Yes, you have a fox sealed inside you, but you're still the same Naruto. A normal human, which I love, Hiruzen replied back. Naruto was in deep thoughts. He was really happy to hear those words but was still upset. Gigi, why was it sealed inside me? Naruto asked again. He knew why already but just wanted to hear his Gigi say it. It was to save the village, Naruto? It was sealed by the fourth Hokage. If he didn't seal it inside you, then it would have gone in a rampage, killing hundreds of people. Hiruzen replied back again. He noticed that made Naruto feel better. If it was for the village, Naruto felt as he could do anything. Even if it meant containing a demon fox. Gigi, are there books about the nine-tailed fox or books related to it? Naruto then asks again. He wanted to research everything about the beast inside of him. Hiruzen then stands up and goes to a shelf of books and scrolls. Of course there are. You can take them, but be sure to return them, Hiruzen said, pointing at the books. Naruto then smiled. By the way, Gigi, I took a look into the forbidden scroll, Naruto said in embarrassment, rubbing the back of his head. The Forbidden Scroll was a scroll that had jutsus that were forbidden to use. The first Hokage himself was the one who wrote the forbidden jutsu in the scroll. They were forbidden due to how much chakra the jutsus cost and if anyone with not enough chakra tried to use those jutsus dies. But Naruto is someone who has an abnormal amount of chakra due to his genes. Oh? Well, did you find anything interesting? Asked a curious Hiruzen. Naruto then smiles a little at that question and says, well, I did find this one. Showing the paper on which he wrote the jutsu in. Hiruzen was shocked but then again thought it was to be expected. Naruto, just be careful. It is a forbidden jutsu for a reason. Hiruzen said. He didn't have any doubts that he wouldn't learn it though. He was his son after all. Naruto then smiles again. Hi, Gigi, Naruto says while taking the books and scrolls about the nine-tailed fox and stuff related to him. Thank you again, Naruto said while leaving. No problem. I trust you after all. Hiruzen said in a somewhat lower voice. He then sat on his chair again and continued his paperwork. Naruto had just gotten up fully refreshed from the exhaustion. It was midday so Naruto slept longer than he wanted to. Yesterday had been a tiresome night and he had found out a terrible secret about himself, well, about the demon that's sealed inside of him. He was really upset but he did get over it after talking to his Gigi. Since it was for his village he really didn't care about a demon. He felt like he could do anything about his village even if it meant containing a demon. As he stood up yawning he noticed the books and scroll he got yesterday. Alright, since I don't have anything to do today besides preparing the ninja registration form, I'll learn everything there is to know about you. And then there is you. Naruto thought looking at another scroll kinda excited. He quickly ate lunch and made a few shadow clones. First, he sent one clone to prepare the ninja registration form and made the other clones learn the basics of the working of the jutsu he had written down yesterday, and he, the original, would read about the demon inside him. He made 25 clones learn about the jutsu. Since the shadow clones had a harder time learning new stuff. Yesterday he was in such a hurry copying the scroll that he really had no idea what he wrote. He wrote it unconsciously due to not wanting to be seen by Iruka and it was faster this way. The jutsu was called the Hiraishin. There were a few stuff written about it. First, he noticed that jutsu was edited and improved by the fourth Hokage. The jutsu was created by the second Hokage but improved by the fourth Hokage. Naruto noticed the use of the special kunai. The special kunai differ from a standard shinobi kunai in that they have 3 blades instead of 1 and the handle serves as the marker for the fourth Hokage's teleportation ability. To use the Hiraishin jutsu one had to mark a target with the technique formula. The formula is applied with a single touch which can't be removed even after the target dies. By entering a dimensional void, the user can instantly teleport to a technique formula's location whenever they please, regardless of distance. Anything that the user is holding, contacting, or that is linked with their chakra will teleport with them. It is said that anyone marked with the technique formula is essentially sentenced to death. Naruto thought that with the use of his lightning jutsu, he could do the Hiraishin even better and faster. He was still upset as lightning jutsus didn't increase his physical parameters as much as he wanted to. The Raikage's lightning mode did so on a much greater scale. But he was still proud he was able to replicate it even though at a much lower level than the originals. The Hiraishin jutsu could be used without hand signs if Naruto trained long enough to master it. Naruto sent one more clone to order a few special kunai. He got them right away since the fourth Hokage used to order them there. After getting back home with the special kunai Naruto puffed. When the original got the memories of the clone he made another 25 clones to get used to using these special kunai. They weighed more than the normal ones and getting used to fighting with them did no harm. It was getting late and Naruto had finally finished reading all about the demon inside of him. It was quite a lot he had learned about him and his kind. He read that there were 8 other demons, or beasts as it was written, like the one inside him. There were 9-tailed beasts in total and all had unique appearances and different numbers of tails. The one inside him had 9 tails and was also the most terrifying but also the one with the most chakra of them all. He also read that there were other people like him who had a tailed beast sealed inside of them. They were called a Jinchuriki. The tailed beasts were seen as monsters, demons, mindless beasts, and were really hated. That hatred went on to their Jinchuriki, which he finally understood why he was hated and called a demon by everyone in the village. The first Hokage had gathered all the tailed beasts and suppressed them with his wood style. He had also given them away to other villages to avoid war. As Naruto read this, he was amazed. He really gave such powerful being away like pets, thought Naruto. The first Hokage had although kept the 9 tails and sealed him inside of his wife. Naruto then noticed something. The last name of the first Hokage's wife. Uzumaki. He also read that the first Hokage's wife, whose name was Mito, was the first 9 tails Jinchuriki. After Mito, the second 9 tails Jinchuriki was Kushina Uzumaki. And after Kushina, it was Naruto. Naruto noticed that so far only the Uzumaki were his Jinchuriki. Naruto knew that the Uzumaki was a famous clan but was later killed. He never knew why they were killed and why he was the only survivor so far he knew. He barely knew anything about the Uzumaki. Naruto then read about the different kinds of tailed beasts, their special abilities, and where they are located. He failed to understand why the 9-tailed attacked the village. Was it really necessary to kill countless people and destroy countless buildings just to avoid being sealed inside a human? Was it really that bad? If that's the case, then I'll do my best for him to be comfortable as much as possible. But would it really help? Was being sealed really the reason he killed? The reason he's evil? Is he really evil? Naruto began to question everything. He was puzzled by this situation. He didn't want to think someone is evil just because someone said he is. He at least wanted to talk to this demon before he came to the conclusion that he's just pure evil. He read about how the Jinchuriki can talk to the tailed beast. He wanted to try that as well. He made all the other shadow clones poof. He felt all their memories come back to him. Naruto shook his head and sat down. He closed his eyes. He sat down for a few minutes but nothing happened. When Naruto started concentrating even harder, he felt something different. He opened his eyes and saw himself in a corridor. It looked like he was in a sewer. As he was looking around, he heard a growl. Naruto immediately knew who and where he was. He walked straight and turned left. After a moment of walking, he finally arrived. Before him, he saw a big cage. "Come closer," said the 9 tails, growling. As Naruto went one step closer, the 9 tails tried to stab him with his nails. "I want to eat you. But this damn seal won't let me," he said, growling even harder. Naruto understood that he was trying to scare him and it was working. It certainly was creepy. "So, you're the 9 tails, huh?" Naruto said. "You came here yourself. You know where you are and you certainly know who I am, kid," responded the 9 tails. Naruto then laughed a bit. "You really are scary, 9 tails." Naruto noticed he flinched a little hearing that. It feels weird calling you that and it doesn't seem you like it either. So what do you prefer I call you?" Naruto asked. The 9 tails was shocked at hearing this. He has hated humans for only seeing him as a power source. A demon. Evil incarnate. No one had ever asked him for his name. "What do you care, kid?" he then asked. "Well, you're inside me and you do already know my name, so it makes sense for me to know yours," Naruto replied. The 9 tails started laughing. "You're the first human to ever ask me that." "Fine, since you asked, it's Kurama," he said. His hate for humans was still the same, but he still had a little amount of respect for the human child. Kurama knew what Naruto thinks, what his intentions are, and what he feels. In his point of view, Naruto wasn't that bad, but he was still a human. The child of the one who sealed him nonetheless. "Kurama, huh? I like it. So, Kurama, I'd like to ask you something if I'm allowed," Naruto said. Kurama was again surprised by this child. He wasn't as bad as the previous Jinchuriki he had, plus he gave off a familiar feeling. "Sure, kid. It's not like I have anything else to do," he replied. "Thank you. Straight to the case then, why did you attack the Hidden Leaf Village 12 years ago?" Naruto asked. He wanted to know what his intentions were at the time. Kurama sighed. He first didn't want to admit that he was controlled, but he didn't want to lie either. A damn Uchiha controlled me with their damn visual prowess. No matter what everyone else may think, I don't like pointless destruction. Naruto was glad, but he didn't show it. He was in deep thought on who it was that controlled him. But who did it? The only Uchiha who was capable of controlling you was the legendary Uchiha. But he is dead after all. Naruto said, and then continues. Is the one who controlled you still alive? All the Uchiha were killed except 2 after all. I don't know, but I don't think he was a leaf ninja. So, he's probably still alive. Kurama replied. He hasn't had a real conversation in a long time, so this did him good. He might be a threat. Someone powerful enough to control someone like you and use you to cause such destruction. I wonder who that could be. Naruto said, talking to himself. Anyways, thank you. It was nice talking to you. You got anything you want to say? Naruto asked. Kurama lied down and started sleeping, giving no answer. Naruto smiled and went out. As he came out, he realized how late it had become in the mess he made with all the books and scrolls. He made a few shadow clones and went into his room tired. He rubbed his stomach and smiled. A moment later the shadow clones were done cleaning up, and so he started sleeping. Naruto wakes up stretching and yawning. He eats breakfast and heads out. He did some exercises first and then trained with his new kunais. After a few hours of training, Naruto heads back home to take a shower and get ready to hand in the ninja registration form. He gave it to the third Hokage and sat on a chair in front of him. Naruto then sensed someone coming. He looked at the door and saw it was opening slowly. Naruto then saw a young boy charging at the third Hokage with a shuriken in his hand and yelling, "Fight me, old geezer." Naruto was about to stop him but then saw him fall down. He laughed a little at that dumb assassination attempt. He knew, or rather guessed, who he was. The young boy, however, noticed that laugh and grabbed his shirt. "I know you are the one who set a trap," he yelled. "Huh? You fell on your own feet, you fool," Naruto said, grabbing the young boy's hand and removing it. The young boy was still trying to grab his shirt, but Naruto didn't let him as he grabbed his hand a little harder. "Let his hand go. He's the grandson of the third Hokage," said a quite tall man who seemed to be a join. Naruto noticed the smirk the young boy was giving. This annoyed him a little. Naruto then grabbed his shirt. "Like I give a damn. You better not touch me again," Naruto said, and pushed him on the floor. The young boy looked up shocked. Anyone else treated him with kindness the minute they found out he's the third Hokage's grandson, but Naruto didn't. After that, Naruto headed out. He was finished with his work, so he wanted to go home for now. He did, however, notice someone following him. "What do you want?" Naruto asked, getting no response. "You aren't fooling anyone with that, you know?" Hee, impressive. You saw through my disguise. I heard about you. I'll make you my boss. Please train me," said the young boy. "Huh? Why would I make you my student?" Naruto asked. "Come on, please boss. Please." The young boy continues begging. Why do you want to train in the first place?" Naruto asked. "Because I want to become a Hokage. Then finally people will see me for who I am and not some grandson of a Hokage." Naruto looked at him with a confused face. "What do you mean?" "Grandpa named me after the village. My name is Konohamaru. Even though everyone knows my name, no one calls me that. All they see is the Hokage's grandson," Konohamaru said, looking down. "I'm sick of that, so that's why I want the Hokage's title." "Idiot. If you want to be acknowledged, then become a strong and respectable shinobi first. There is no way you're becoming a Hokage. Not before you beat me," Naruto said. Look at Konohamaru's face. His eyes widened. "I finally found you, young lord," the shinobi from before said. Look at Naruto with disgusted eyes. That demon brat, he thought. Those eyes again, Naruto thought, annoyed. The shinobi was grabbing Konohamaru. Young master, let's go home. I'm your easiest shortcut to becoming Hokage, the shinobi said while struggling to pull Konohamaru. Let me go. Konohamaru yelled back. Please, young master. If you hang out with trash like him, you'll become stupid, the shinobi said, still struggling. What did you just call me? Naruto asked, pissed off at that man's comment. This has nothing to do with you. I mean, young man. As soon as the shinobi finished that sentence, he was kicked in the face and fell down a couple of meters away. As he stood up as if nothing had happened, they were gone. Damn it. Didn't know he was this experienced, but I guess it's expected when you train with an Anbu. Naruto had picked up Konohamaru and ran away. Konohamaru was looking at Naruto shocked and his eyes wide opened. He didn't even see Naruto use the shadow clone that appeared behind his tutor. Plus that speed and that awesome lighting surrounding him. So awesome was everything Konohamaru could think of. I'm sorry, Konohamaru. I acted in the heat of the moment, Naruto said as he let Konohamaru down and rubbed his head, laughing a little. Don't worry, Ni-chan. He shouldn't have called you that anyway. Konohamaru said. Naruto looked at him, surprised by how he called him. He was also really happy. But wow, I got ways to go if I want to surpass you and beat you, Konohamaru said. Hee hee, you sure do. You better train hard, harder than you ever had. Naruto said. Yay, stop lecturing me. Because from now on, you're my rival. Konohamaru declares. Naruto smiles. Sorry, but starting tomorrow I'm taking my first step as being a shinobi, but one day I'll fight you for the Hokage title. I'll be looking for it, Konohamaru, Naruto said, giving a thumbs up with a big smile on his face. It's the next day. As usual, Naruto was sitting next to Shikamaru and Choji in class. This was the day they were announcing teams and their sensei. Naruto pretty much knew who he was going to team up with, but he still preferred Shikamaru or Choji. Sadly though, they were going to be in a team with Ino. The famous Ino Shikacho formation. He pretty much guessed who he was teaming with, but he still hated it. Holding back seemed to be a really bad idea now. My brilliant idea just backfired, thought Naruto as he sighed. Iruka started announcing the teams. After a few teams were announced, he said Team 7. Haruno Sakura. Oh boy, here it comes, Naruto said. Uzumaki Naruto and Uchiha Sasuke. Iruka finished. Great. I really do not like these two, especially her, Naruto sighed. Naruto knew how important was teamwork and all that, but he just couldn't handle Sakura. The most annoying fangirl out of them all. Sasuke wasn't that bad. He's quiet and doesn't seem to cause any problems. After Iruka finished announcing their teams, they had a lunch break, and after that, they would meet their sensei. It would make sense to get to know your teammates better during this lunch break, but Naruto just didn't see that happening. If he tried to approach them, they would just tell him to scram. After lunch break was over and every team had already met their sensei, Team 7 was the only one in the class. He's late, was what all three were thinking. After waiting patiently, their new sensei had finally arrived. Naruto immediately recognized him. He remembered reading about him. Naruto was happy getting a sensei as good as him. This sensei had spiky silver hair often oriented to his left side and dark gray eyes. Well, since his left eye was covered by the forehead protector. He also wore standard Jonin clothes. My first impression of you guys. Well, you don't seem so bad. The Jonin said. Meet me at the rooftop, he then said, and left. After that, Naruto also immediately left, which Sasuke and Sakura didn't seem to have noticed. Naruto arrived right after his new sensei. Nice speed, the Jonin thought. He knew Naruto was trained by Tenzo, but he still didn't know Naruto's capabilities. Tenzo wouldn't tell him. Tenzo told him that he would find out for himself eventually. The others had also arrived. Sasuke was shocked to see Naruto be there before him. He didn't even see him run past them. Well, let's begin with introducing yourselves, the Jonin said. What do you want to know? Sakura asked. Well, how about your likes and dislikes? Your dreams for the future and things like that, the Jonin replied. Why don't you introduce yourself to us first, Sakura said. That might be the smartest thing you have said, Sakura. Naruto thought. Me? Alright. I'm Hatake Kakashi. I have no intention of telling you my likes and dislikes. As for my dream. I have a few hobbies. Kakashi said. Really didn't reveal much about himself, Naruto thought. Now it's your turn, Kakashi said. Alright. My name is Uzumaki Naruto. I like to train a lot and I like to eat ramen. What I dislike is people who hate on someone else without knowing anything about them. My dream is to become the strongest shinobi and then become the greatest Hokage there was. As for my hobbies. Training, I guess. Naruto said. Interesting, Kakashi thought. Well, you're next, Kakashi said, looking at the Uchiha. My name is Uchiha Sasuke. I dislike a lot of stuff and don't really like anything. I can't really call it a dream. But I have an ambition. The resurrection of my clan and to kill a certain man. Sasuke said. Like I thought, Kakashi thought. Revenge, huh? Naruto thought. All Sakura could think of was how cool he was. Okay, and lastly the girl, Kakashi said, looking at Sakura. My name is Haruno Sakura. The thing I like is. Well, the person I like is. And my dream for the future. Sakura said, screeching while looking at Sasuke. Girls of this age are more interested in love than ninjutsu, Kakashi thought while shaking his head. And this is why I don't like her. Naruto thought. So far for the introductions. Tomorrow we'll start our duties as shinobi. We are going to do something with just the four of us. Kakashi said. What is it? Naruto asked. Survival training, Kakashi replied. The three Genin looked at Kakashi with confusion. We are going to train. But not normal training. I'm going to be your opponent, said Kakashi as he started laughing a little. What kind of training? Why are you laughing? Asked Sakura. Naruto looked confused as to why he was laughing, so he also asked. Oh, nothing, it's just that if I told you, you'd chicken out. Continued Kakashi. Chicken out? Why? Asked Sakura again. Of the 27 members of your graduating class, only 9 will actually be accepted as Genin Shinobi. The test we are about to perform has a 66% rate of failure, answered Kakashi. Naruto was now beginning to worry. A 66% rate of failure? I can't. I won't fail this. I will become the greatest Hokage, declared Naruto as he was holding his fist. Naruto then looked up and realized he said it out loud and just looked away. Kakashi looked at Naruto for a moment but then continued. In any event, we'll meet tomorrow morning on the practice field so I can evaluate each of your skills and weaknesses. Make sure to go all out. Oh, and, I wouldn't eat breakfast if I were you. Unless you enjoy throwing up, that is. Kakashi then gives a handout with details to the assignment to the 3 students and shined away. Breakfast? Thought Naruto as he was confused about that comment. Without paying attention, Naruto picks the handout up and also shined away with confused looks by Sasuke and Sakura, seeing Naruto's speed. Dear valued YouTube community. That concludes our update for today. If you enjoyed the content, please consider subscribing to my channel. For more updates and content, stay tuned to Anime Octopus. Best regards. Anime Octopus.